Shalom, shalom, shalom. Testing, testing, testing. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Testing, testing, testing. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. Shalom, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Hakadash, Barakatham. Double honor to my apostles, great millstone, citation to the Akim on the four corners, pushing this truth and sincerity, love, diligence, respect, fear, and trembling. This is Itazawan coming back with another gem for the knowledge through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai being the name of the only begotten Son, Yahweh meaning He is or He to be, and Yahweh Shai in the Hebrew meaning He delivers. Those are the names you want to call upon these last days. All right, for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, for the Lord to keep the Holy Spirit upon you. And ultimately, you want to call upon those names for deliverance. All right, from the dangers, the evils, the chaos that's going to happen in Babylon, aka America, and for four corners of the earth, because the whole earth is going to get tried and tested. All right, and you want to call upon those names so you can be delivered. All right, and be protected in these last days. So Yahweh Shai will put a hedge over you. Okay, because we're coming into some very, very serious times, some scary times. So evil in the scriptures, evil in the Hebrew is ra, which means bad times. So bad times is coming, and the Lord is going to use Esau, Edom, the devil, which is predominantly, which looks like a so-called white man or a European. All right, known as the Edomites in the scriptures. All right, the elites of them, they're gonna cause chaos to bring in their order. Okay, and they're going to use their order is going to come in the form of laws that's going to enslave you. Okay, Esau wants the world to be in subjection under him. So there's a term called Ordo Ab Chaos, order through chaos. All right, and I've been thinking about this series for a minute. So through the Spirit, the Wadi Yabashim Shai, um, I'm finally getting it going. So this will be part one of terms and lingos you should know. All right. And the topic today is Ordo Ab Chaos. It is very important to know terms and the lingos of this devil, their agendas, so you won't get caught off guard, man. All right. You got to know when you're watching the news or when you're reading the books, you see in certain headlines, you listen to the TED Talks, you listen to certain political figures, they use code words, they use terms, certain lingos that you should be familiar with. If you say that you're in this truth, you got to be familiar with certain things that this devil, you gotta be familiar with what he's talking about. All right. That's one of the reasons why a lot of people are caught off guard with a lot of things, because they don't understand the lingo. You got to know the lingo of this devil. As the scripture says, don't be ignorant. Let's get that. Don't be ignorant of a small matter. Let's get Ecclesiasticus, the 15th chapter and the 5th verse. It says, 15. No, it's 5. I believe it's 5. Yeah, this is Ecclesiasticus 5 and 15. Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small. Okay, so you can't be ignorant of a great matter or a small. Now, to some, knowing these terms may be small matters, but they're not. Okay, this is giving you knowledge on what this devil is going to do. Okay, so no further ado, let's look up the terms. Let's look up. What should I do here? Let's do this. Okay, we're going to do that. We're going to go to YouTube. We're going to go to terms. Okay. So, hold on. I got off of it. Give me a second. There we go. So I'm going to show terms and I'm going to show terminology. I mean terms, which is terminology, and lingo. So you can get familiar with those two words. Why the F is it keep jumping off? Terminology. Share screen. Okay, there we go. So let's go back here. Okay, so terminology. Terminology is a group of specialized words and respective meanings in a particular field. So we're dealing with the field of the New World Order, or we're dealing with the field of the elites, right? So they have certain specialized words, all right, which have their meanings to it in a particular field, and also the study of such terms and their use. The latter meaning is also known as terminology science. So yeah, you got to know the lingo. And when you go into the word terminology, it's going to bring you to the word lingo. I just pulled up lingo, and lingo is a form of language, right? Lingo is a way of speaking that's shared by a particular group of people. It's their own personal slang or jargon. You might observe international talk like a pirate day by trying to speak only pirate lingo. Right. So it's just like basketball. There's basketball lingo, you know, different worlds. In the basketball world, you got a basketball lingo, crossover, a dunk, a screen, you know, a free throw, you know, double dribble, travel. That's the lingo for basketball. Football, flag on the play, holding, face mask, you know, 5 yards. You know, that's the lingo for football. So when you're dealing with the lingo or the terminologies of Esau, Edom in their New World Order, these are certain phrases and things you should know, such as Ordo Ab Chaos. So we're going to learn about Ordo Ab Chaos today. Okay. Now, real quick, let's get a precept. And I'm going to show this video. And it's 3 minutes and 29 seconds, which I'm going to play the whole thing. And this is Jordan Maxwell. He's going to speak a little bit about Ordo Ab Chaos. Okay. And then, of course, y'all know me. I like to get into my books. So We're gonna read a little bit, a segment out of this book, The Protocols of the Learned Elders of Zion, because they speak about the Order Ab Chaos in here too. So we're gonna get some information from at least 3 sources today. So Lord willing, it's edifying. But let me get my precept real quick. 2 Corinthians 2:11. And I'm gonna read it in the GNT. 2 Corinthians, Second Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. In order to keep Satan from getting the upper hand over us, for we know what his plans are. Okay, very simple. We know the plans of this devil because we're looking into their world. We're finding out their different lingos when you're looking at the news, when you're reading books, like I said earlier, especially the media. Okay, the media puts a lot of their terms and terminologies in the media that you got to be able to catch. Okay, it's just like when you hear all the presidents talking about the New World Order, the New World Order. Well, look into what is the New World Order about. You know, and this Order Ab Chaos is to get Esau's New World Order started. Okay, so no further ado, we're gonna listen to this. Like I said, it's 3 minutes and 29 seconds. We're gonna listen to it all, and I'm gonna come back with precepts, and then I got 2 other things to check out. So let's get to it. Let's go back to YouTube.
Man cannot move on this earth without 2 legs. He cannot do any work without 2 arms. You can't see very well without 2 eyes, two ears to hear correctly. So man cannot move around the earth without his 2 legs. Birds cannot fly without 2 wings. They can't do it while 1 wing don't work. They have to have 2 wings operating together, a left wing and right wing. And so we now know that this is how the world is actually being able to be moved. People in high powerful positions can move this whole world. Why? They can either move it to the left or to the right. The left is always the communistic and the right is always the nationalistic. It's the what we call the National Socialist German Workers' Party, Nazis, or the Communist Party, which is the Democratic Party. And so it's been.
Now, real quick, he's mentioning the Republic Party and then the Democratic Party, and those 2 fashions, those 2 opposing fashions is really working for the same beast. Okay, the Democrat and the Republicans, they have them appear to the masses of the world that they're against one another, but behind closed doors, they're working hand to hand with one another. Okay, let's get that precept in Revelation. Let's get Revelation. I believe it's 13. Because Esau is going to start chaos. All right. The term is called Ordo Ab Chaos. Ordo Ab Chaos. They're going to cause chaos to happen, and they can do that by whatever fashion, whatever political party that they want to use. All right. They can use it through the Democrats or they can use it through the Republicans. All right. It's just like now with this situation with Trump. Now he's found guilty, right? Now, if he's to get so-called put in jail, it's going to be an uproar, you know? So they're causing both sides to go back and forth with one another for the reaction of the people. And eventually it's going to start upheavals. It's going to start seditions, okay? Okay, so this is Revelation 13 and 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and spake as a dragon. All right, so two horns like a lamb. Right, so a lamb is innocent. A lamb is um, how could you say? Um, and this is a metaphor, okay, a parable, if you will. The lamb is a representation of something innocent. All right, something. How could I say it? I'm gonna just use innocence because I'm losing my train of thought. That's Satan. But let's read it again. It say, and I beheld another beast. That beast is talking about the Roman Empire, the ancient Roman Empire, coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. So the two horns like a lamb is the different parties of the Roman Empire, which back in the ancient world you had the plebeians and you had the patricians. Okay, one for the public, all right, and then one for the poor. All right. And now today you have the Democrats and you have the Republicans. Okay. So what we seeing on the news is those two opposing parties that appear that they're going against one another, but they're really for the same beast. Okay. So they spake as a lamb. I mean, he had two horns like a lamb. I'm sorry. And he spake as a dragon. So a lamb and a dragon don't fit. So what it's saying is behind closed doors, all right, they're going to be fierce with their words, with their laws, with their legislations. Okay. It's just like now today. When this devil puts on that devil suit and put on them horns, you're going to see on how both of these different parties are working for the same people, which is the elites. And I'm speaking as a dragon is talking about the harsh draconian law measures that each side can pass because the president is a puppet. All right. Don't forget that the president goes back to being a puppet. OK, so the president is in the hands of the elites, and they're going to cause certain upheavals and situations to happen so they can get it passed on the books. That brings in the order. OK, so let's keep listening.
Known that you can't go anywhere if you don't have two of everything. So if you're going to walk, you need two legs, and you can't walk on a glass surface with oil on it. Mm-hmm. It's just not going to work. You need friction. So if you can't walk on a marble or a glass floor, if it's got oil on it, why? Because there's no friction for you to walk. You need two different legs, and you need friction for you to walk and for you to move. So if the international bankers want to move the world towards something, they will cause friction. Mm-hmm. International friction or international strife and wars. It will cause kinds of wars between people, between religions, between governments. They're financing, organizing, and directing all of this wars and all the tragedies. And this is why even the Masonic order has the term Ordo Ab Chaos, mm-hmm. Order out of chaos. Order out of chaos. Mm-hmm. And this is why when I was a kid in school, when somebody would say something in high school and junior high, get a life or wake up, it meant that you were ignorant and ill-informed. You need to get an education, and so they make a television show.
So like these riots that goes on, these protests, those are backed up by insiders. One name comes to mind is George Soros, who he funds certain uprising groups to go protest. Okay, when they go out and protest, it starts chaos because there's remember the whole Trump situation and the Trumpers and the Bidens were fighting against one another. You see, You had Trump, supporters of Trump, and then you had supporters of Biden, and they were feuding, going back and forth with one another. All right, that caused chaos in the streets, so they had to bring in the police. Scenarios like that is going to increase into the point where people are going to start offing one another. So they're going to have to bring in what is known as a police state. Okay, which it's in this book.
What was it called? Was in the 50s? That TV show was Get Smart. Yeah, that's what it was. Get Smart. Well, in high school, for me, when I was a kid in high school, get smart. Somebody told you to get smart and implied, go get an education. Wake up, you're stupid, you're ignorant. Get smart. And so they make a television show in the 50s called Get Smart. And in Get Smart, there are two sides. There's an evil side and there's a good side. And what are the two sides in the television comedy Get Smart? There was one was called chaos, and the other was control. Why? Because that's how you control people, is you cause chaos. Because if you walk on glass with oil, there's no friction.
So that's how you get your order. You cause chaos. You cause chaos so you can bring in wicked laws to put the people in order. And ultimately, that when they pass these laws are going to be really putting the world in a state of captivity all over again. Okay, wait until they pass out some type of pestilence, and when a pestilence comes, they can use an excuse to quarantine cities. All right, they can use an excuse to put on the laws that you have to get the charagma, the migrant situation that's happening. You know, it will cause chaos, and to establish order, you're going to bring in a police state, etc. Or maybe you're going to implement the CHIP and make it mandatory so you can know who's who coming into Babylon. You know, it can go a lot of different ways, man. Okay, so like he said, let's go back a little bit. He said to cause chaos.
Because if you walk on glass with oil, there's control. Why? Because that's how you television comedy Get Smart. There was one was called chaos, and the other was control. Why? Because that's how you control people, is you cause chaos.
Cause chaos.
Because if you walk on glass with oil, there's no friction. So you got to have friction. You got to have people fighting each other.
See? He said you got to have friction. You got to have people fighting each other. And that's what this devil is going to do. Let's get a precept. And these are basic precepts. It may sound like a broken record, but whatever. This is Psalm 64:1. Hear my voice, O power, and my prayer. Preserve my life from fear of the enemy. Who's the enemy? Esau's the enemy. The elites, beginning with the elites. Okay. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. So the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, the secret council, is dealing with what is known as today as your elites, or like we like to call them, the Illuminati. Okay, they cause uprisings, all right, so they can pass laws. Give an example: 9/11. 9/11 was an inside job. 9/11 was chaos, so they brought in what was known as the Patriot Act. Then there was another one. A brother sent it to me earlier. I'm trying to think of the name of it. Oh, the Proclamation Act of 7463, which was intact, which was a national emergency act of 1976. Okay, so and that's the purpose of the presidents, is so they can answer to the chaos. See, Esau wants to appear to be the savior, so he wants the presidents to answer answer for the chaotic shit that's going on in America, and they're going to use their laws to try to get things back in order. Okay? State of emergency acts, etc., etc. When things, when uproar, there's another law, I believe it's called the Insurrection Act. Okay? Well, the scripture speaks about, let's read that again. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. So the elites, all right, they're the ones who causes up the insurrection. Let's look up that word insurrection real quick. I got sedition right there. Let's jump to the side. Insurrection. Let's look up the word insurrection. What does that mean?
Insurrection.
A violent uprising against an authority or government. Yep. Rebel. All right. Revolution, uprising, or revolt. And if you got ears to, if you got, ears to hear and eyes to see, you can see that's all been going up and down Babylon the Great. Okay, insurrections, uprising, rebellings, especially against the government. Now it hasn't gotten to that peak of them actually, putting people to death, but we know that it's going to that's going to intensify soon. Okay, so that's the word insurrection, a violent uprising against an authority or a government. Okay. And this is what Esau is getting started with his agent provocateurs, man. All right, the agent provocateurs, they go on, they be mingled amongst certain organizations, and those be the ones that's so the radical type, they down for the cause. Those could be agents, okay, to push in martial law. All right, so this is the world we live in, and we living in a time where this devil is gonna do some dramatic shit, where he can pass in draconian laws. Okay, Ordo Ab Chaos. They say, okay, you know what? That's it on that. So now let's listen to another clip of Jordan Maxwell. Let me see. Let me make sure it's on here. Come on, man. Your browser has lost connection to your share screen audio. Why are they tweaking? Okay, Khan, hey, shalom to the brother Yashar Gabar, the elder brother Yashar Gabar. He said that Get Smart TV show goes back to portraying the secret agent scenarios like control and chaos. Khan. It got off of it. So let's go back to it. Share. Okay. Now let's go back. So I'm gonna play this.
Order out of chaos. The concept is
and they create control.
Over the world headquarters in Switzerland of the world Masonic headquarters for World Freemasonry. Over the door is Ordo Ab Chaos, which is Latin for order out of chaos. And all Freemasons know that term, Ordo Ab Chaos. Order out of chaos. The concept is to create chaos, to create the problems. Then while the people are frightened to death of all the crime and everything that seems to be out of control, a riotous situation, the government then moves in with justification. In order to put down this terrible chaos, they must have full power of the military, full obedience of the people to give the government.
They move. I'm gonna have to replay this. And then he said they move with justification. Now check this out. Let's get another precept. Psalms 94. Psalms 94 and 20. It says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law? Who is the throne of iniquity? The Edomites. Okay. They're in rulership right now, right? This is Esau's kingdom. They're the throne of iniquity. All right. And it's saying, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee? No, there ain't gonna be Esau and Jacob ruling at the same time. We ain't gonna sit on the same throne. One is gonna go down and one is gonna be lifted up. That's what's happening right now. Esau, Edom is going down. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. All right. It ain't Esau and Jacob on the throne together. So shall the throne of iniquity, the Edomites, the wicked, have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by a law. Okay, so they frame the wickedness, the deceit, the lies. Okay, ways to enslave you and entrap you. Okay, and they pass it through their laws. Now let's read that in GNT. How is it read in the GNT? And I'm gonna go back and play that Jordan Maxwell clip again because he say more. Let's go to Psalms 94. And Lord willing, this is edifying. Psalms 94 and 20. You have nothing to do with corrupt judges who make injustice legal, who plot against good men and sentence the innocent to death. See that? So their laws is really plots. Their laws is plots to come up against the righteous. Ultimately, you got to understand that all this stuff that's happening right now is really the Esau and Jacob, the Esau versus Jacob. These laws they passing and things like that, especially as of late, is really to lock down the world and take out the Israelites. At the end of the day, that's the gist of it. All right, they want to throw the innocent in prison or kill them. That's what these devils is going to do with these uprising, fake scenarios, blue screen. All right, they're gonna have false witnesses to justify themselves on trying to come down on the prophets. Okay, because that's what it's boiling down to. All right, so let's go back to this video and go listen to them again.
They create chaos and they create control.
Over the world headquarters in Switzerland of the World Masonic Headquarters for World Freemasonry, over the door is Ordo Ab Chaos, which is Latin for order out of chaos. And all Freemasons know that term, Ordo Ab Chaos. Order out of chaos. The concept is to create chaos, to create the problems. Then while the people are frightened to death of all the crime and everything that seems to be out of control, a riotous situation, the government then moves in with justification. In order to put down this terrible chaos, they must have full power of the military, full obedience of the people to give the government full power to do whatever they want. That's why we're having all over the world wars, riots, bloodshed, famines, all kinds of things happening around the world. It's being manipulated. It's being orchestrated, not just for Los Angeles.
Conflict control.
Conflict control.
There's been more wars since the creation of the United Nations.
People need to wake up and discover who is running their government, what the symbols of government mean, what these emblems mean. When they see the national coat of arms, the flags, the emblems, the seals, the symbols, all of these things mean something. Educate yourself. Find out where it came from. That's the only hope I see for the human race, is the human race itself.
Yep. So you heard him, man. He broke it down. I'm gonna read this on the side here. It says Ordo Ab Chaos, Latin for order out of chaos, is a phrase often associated with Freemasonry and various secret societies, Illuminati. It represents the idea of creating order or control from chaos, implying a deliberate manipulation of events or circumstances to achieve a specific outcome, which ultimately is the New World Order. Okay, and within the New World Order, that consists of you being in captivity through a microchip. You're going to be a slave to a computer database. That's the end all be all for this devil. What he's trying to get established. That New World Order is to bring everybody up under one and control everybody. All right, control the world. Okay, specifically they want to get that C hip in the Israelites. All right, so they set up false flags, and even real people get put to death. All right, so that's how deep this nigga go. That's how deep Esau's willing, to get his new world order. He's causing nothing but chaos and death. In fact, let's get Revelation the 6th chapter, because that was his blessing, to take peace from the earth. All right, y'all think he taking peace now? Wait until the Lord start putting that battery pack in him to turn up. All right, you're gonna see who the devil really is, man. All right. So this is Revelation 6:4. It says, and there went out another horse that was red. All right, and the red represents Esau, Adawam. All right, Edom. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. So Esau's job is to take peace from the earth. All right. And they shall kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. See, that great sword that was given unto Esau. That's who that red horse is talking about. It's talking about the Edomites, beginning with the elites. All right. They have that sword of the technology. Their sword is in the form of the laws. Their sword is in the form of the gun. All right. That's the sword. And that sword is going to take peace from earth. And he's doing a good job at it, man. It's just going to increase. All right. It's going to increase, man. And one thing he said famine. Now we know that a famine is coming according to biblical prophecy. So at the end of the day, the Lord is really using this devil to bring forth prophecies. Remember, you can go read Isaiah the 10th chapter where it speaks about how the Lord is swinging Esau like an axe. All right? Excuse me. He's the axe, and the Lord is the one that swings him whethersoever he wants him to be swung. So the Lord uses this devil to bring forth. He think it's his own, but really the Lord put the spirit in him to try to get the new world order started. All right, to justify bringing these prophecies. He's using Esau to fulfill certain prophecies. All right, famine. All right, which famine is in the scriptures. All right, him taking out the food plants. Taking the land away from the farmers. Creating a generated crisis of a famine. Well, people, when they're down and out, what's going to happen to what their mind's going to turn to if there ain't no food ain't no foods on the shelf? The trucks ain't bringing in. You got to bring in the loads at least 2 to 3 times a week. So what's going to happen to the world? People are going to uprise because they're hungry. All right. And then you're going to box them in to the point where they're going to accept the C hip. All right. So I talked enough. So Salakia, let's see here. I read Psalms 94. Okay. Now let's get this book. How am I going to do this? Go like this. Khan, yep, good precept. This is 2 Thessalonians 2:7. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. Right, exactly. The Lord allowing him to do these things, man. He set up the beast. All right. And the Lord set this devil up. For the mystery of iniquity doth already work, and only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. Yep. That's plain and simple. The Lord let him do what he do until that cutoff period. And that cutoff period is coming soon. All right. So now let's get let's go into this book. Now let's get into this book. We're gonna get into this book. Protocols. We're gonna go to page 24. And yep. So it says intensified military service and the increase of police force are essential to complete the above mentioned plans, which Jordan Maxwell just made mention of that. He just made mention of getting a damn. What did he just say? He just said causing chaos to bring in order. Okay, and that's what the police state or the high militarized police officers are basically on standby. All right, they're on standby for when they get that okay to come down. All right, when something cracks off. It is essential for us to arrange that, besides ourselves, there should be in all countries nothing but a huge proletariat, so many soldiers and police loyal to our cause. Yep. So they already have people on the payroll. They already have people on standby for whenever a uprising happens or a rebellion or a revolt happens. All right, a protest happens. They already have that the state of emergency already set into play. I want to show something real quick. Let me see here, because you have this going on in Milwaukee right now. You had the governor declare emergency, declares a state of emergency, and it's not because anything happened. And this is a law, if I'm not mistaken. You can shit. You can call a state of emergency during peace times. Okay, a state of emergency is when you have the neighboring cities. All right, the neighboring city police departments, they all band up together. Okay, for whatever event. All right, so there's supposed to be some type of event going on in Milwaukee where they just call, oh yeah, the Republican National Convention is going to be in Milwaukee. So they declared a state of emergency. Okay, and this is for just in case something happens. Okay, so they already geared up. Let's say some type of assassination, or let's say some type of a bomb goes off, or whatever it may be. We know that this devil orchestrate these false flag scenarios, these situations. So what the state of emergency does, they'll be on standby to bring in that order whenever something goes down. Okay. So it's really, this is very, kind of simple to understand, and we get called conspiracy theorists, etc., whatever. But we know, what was actually going on through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai. Don't be ignorant of a small matter or a great matter. All right. This is a part of being a watchman. All right. So let's go back to StreamYard. Let's go. What is this? Give me a. What is this? What is this? Okay. Sedition. Okay. Okay, so let's get back to this book. It says, I'm on the third paragraph. It says, in the whole of Europe, and with the help of Europe, we must promote on other continents sedition. Okay, so that's why I got the word sedition. What does the word sedition mean? Sedition is overt conduct such as speech or organization that tends toward rebellion against the established order. Now, what's going on in the media today with Trump? You see, they said that he's being put on charges of sedition and insurrection, which is all this shit that's going on with Trump and him being found guilty and all this back and forth with the news media and is he going to prison? Is he going to be a felon? Blah, blah, blah. He can't run. All that's to rouse up people's emotions. So if they do anything to him, a sedition of rebellion is going to happen, because those are those two opposing factions that's supposed to bump heads, right? And when they bump heads, purposely bumping heads, coming up against one another, so some type of agenda can get across. And that's what we're seeing here. Eventually, sedition and rebellion against the government is going to happen, like January the 6th, which that was orchestrated, okay? So now they passed laws against that situation of January 6th. All right. So this whole thing is all fucking fake. Okay. So sedition is I'm sorry, I'm speaking fast. Sedition is overt conduct such as speech or organization that tends to a rebellion against established order. Sedition often includes subversion of a constitution and incitement of discontent toward or insurrection against established authority. Sedition may include any commotion. Look at that, commotion. Now, it's a precept that speaks about commotion. Now, let's go to commotion real quick. Let me see. Where is that precept at? Commotion. I think it's in Luke. I think it's spelled 1M. No, commotion. Yeah, what the hell? He said, well, you shall see rumors and commotions of the people. Let me let's see here. I guess, okay, let's see. Commotion. I know it's in Luke. I always forget. Okay, Luke 21:19. There we go. All right, let's get that. Let's get Luke 21:19. Let's get that out the blue letter real quick so you can see. I want to go into that word commotion. Give me a second. Luke 21:19. Luke 21:9. Is it 19? Yeah. Wait. No, it's 21:9. So check this out. This is where Yahushua, let's put it in the red letter so you know it's Yahushua speaking. Okay. It says, but when ye shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by. So these commotions that's going to be happening and that are already happening, this is part of biblical prophecy. Okay? Commotions. Let's go to commotions. What does that word mean?
Strong's G 181. Akatastasia. Akatastasia.
Akatastasia. Check this out. Instability. Okay? So this world is not about to be stable. A state of disorder, disturbance. Yeah, when you see 500 people in the streets protesting, it brings confusion, a disturbance. So what's going to have to happen? They're going to have to call in what is known as the martial law. Okay? A state of emergency, police force. So what Esau is doing, man, is actually bringing in biblical prophecy. Okay? What's the word instability? Lack of stability, the state of being unstable. Exactly. Okay? And that's Babylon. Okay, and that's these commotions with the uprisings of the people. In fact, there's a precept that speaks about uprisings of the people. That's a revolt, that's a rebellion, that's a commotion, a state of disorder. Okay, so let's go back. Let's go back to, well, actually, sedition. Go back to this sedition. Okay, that's it on that. So it says, and I'm gonna read this chapter again. In the whole of Europe, and with the help of Europe, we must promote other continents' sedition. So this is what they're doing. They're getting started seditions, dissensions. And what is a dissension? A dissension is when two groups, all right, disagree with one another. Okay, and we see that, which is Esau, Edom, his house. Satan house being divided, breaking up, arguments and disagreement. This is dissension.
Dissension.
Arguments and disagreements, especially in an organization, group, political party, etc. Okay, so like the scriptures say, goodness gracious, what does it say? Satan's house being divided. Okay, how should it stand? Okay, there's a lot of in-house fighting going on in Babylon, a lot of agreeing in the government. Okay, and the scripture says, let's get that, Satan's house divided. How can it stand? Let's see. Come on, man. What? There we go. This is Matthew 12:26. And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand? You see? That's dissension. Okay, Satan's house being divided. That's a part of prophecy. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand but have an end. So the end is coming because there's dissension that's going on within the government. But it's all a part of that agenda. Okay? And ultimately is Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. Now this devil, he ain't getting everything 100% correct and perfect. He fucking up. The Lord is guiding his devil to do these things, man. All right? He's being guided on what to do. All right? Because the Lord is putting the spirit out here for people to come up against the government regardless if it's an agenda that they're doing through their propaganda, through the media, etc. The Lord is putting the spirit on people to fight against one another. All right, as the scriptures speak about the Egyptian versus Egyptian. Okay, so let's keep going. All right, it says, and I ain't got too much more. So it says, in the whole of Europe, and with the help of Europe, we must promote on other continents, sedition, decisions, and mutual hostility. In this, there is a twofold advantage. Firstly, by these means, we command the respect of all countries who we know that we have the power to create upheavals at will. So they can start crisis at will. And they can do that they can do that in these other countries, and they can do it here in Babylon the Great. And they always start in other countries with the outlet. The outline will be basically these other countries. But when the whole thing comes about, it's gonna get to Babylon the Great, and it's gonna be what it's intended to be, Salakia. All right. The other countries is test runs. All right. The crises like Cyprus, the bank runs, and things like that. Cyprus, that goes back like 2012, 2011, if I'm not mistaken. What happened with Cyprus? All right, that they went into a high inflation. Those are all set up. Okay, upheavals at will, or else to restore order. See, it's about getting that order, that agenda, or the agenda of order. Okay, the new world order. All countries are used to look to us for the necessary pressure when such is required. Secondly, by intricacies, we shall entangle all the threads spun by us in the ministries of all governments, not only by our politics, but by trade conventions and financial obligations. Okay, and so that's it on that book. So it's all telling you that Ordo Ab Chaos, order through chaos, Esau is getting those things orchestrated so they can come down on the people quicker, harder, and fierce. And that's what's going to take place very, very soon. All right. So keep understand what these terminologies mean. It's very important. Okay. So let's get. I got a couple of precepts and I'm gonna speed read them. Let's get Psalms 31 and 6. Well, I guess I could leave it like this. Let's go to the blue letter. Let's go to the blue letter. So let's go to Psalms 36. So this is Psalms 36:1. It says, the transgression of the wicked saith within my heart that there is no fear of the Most High before his eyes. Yep. And that's why they're proudly, boldly doing what they're doing now, man. Because they don't fear Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay. That's why they're doing all the wicked things, deeds, and against the Lord's chosen, because they don't fear him. All right. But he was made that way. The Lord did that for a reason, so they could go full-fledged in their wickedness. For he flattered himself in his own eyes until his iniquity be found to be hateful. The words of his mouth are iniquity and deceit. He have left off to be wise and to do good. He deviseth mischief upon his bed, and that's what they do through their think tanks. You got the Bilderberg Group, you got the Trilateral Commission, you have the different Freemasonry sects. All right, he devises mischief upon their beds. They create conspiracies. They breathe together. They come together with plans and agendas and plots. He setteth himself in a way that is not good. He abhorreth not evil. Okay, so I want to read that in the NLT because it said it had a word in there that I wanted to hear. So once again, this is Psalms 36. And I'm going to just go to 4. It says, he makes evil plans as he lies in bed. Nothing he do is good, and he never rejects anything evil. You see? Woe unto them that devise iniquity. All right? Micah, the 2nd chapter. All right? Because they devising iniquity. They're devising on how they can destroy people. In fact, let's get another precept. Let's get Proverbs. Let's go to Proverbs, the 4th chapter. Is it Proverbs? Yep, Proverbs 4. Proverbs, the 4th chapter, 16th verse. For they sleep not except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. You're gonna find out who that devil is. All right. These devils don't sleep unless they can think of something evil. They don't sleep unless they can figure out how they can get the Israelites up out of the way. Now the hypocrisy of the devil is he said that we have freedom of speech. He put in the laws, the Constitution, right to religion, etc. But once you get to speaking out against them and about the evilness of the devil, all right, and saying, letting them know he's not the real chosen. Now he wants to set up operations to get you up out the way and strip your God-given freedom right is to speak. He's trying to silence you from speaking. That's the fucking devil. Here it is. Yahweh Shem Shai gave us a voice to speak. All right? And this devil's trying to silence us through the kill switch bill, CISPA bill, through these different laws that they're trying to get intact, so-called hate speech crimes. All right? The monitoring of the YouTube, giving us hell with that. You know how now they have the medical misinformation dealing with the C-19. You know, when truth comes out, this devil doesn't like that, so he'll kill you for telling the truth. You know. So it says, for they sleep not except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. And that's Esau Edom. That's the devil. All right. Let's get Psalms. I got one more and I'm gonna close on out because I gotta head out. You know, Jake always on the fucking move, man. Psalms 28:3. It says, draw me not away with the wicked and with the workers of iniquity, which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their hearts. Okay, so that's the two opposing factions: Democrat and Republican, the plebeians and the patricians. All right, they're set up to speak peace into you. That's like it into a lamb. It's peaceful. It's innocent. So their words that they speak out of their mouth, it's a trick to try to pacify you. We're going to get these laws enact for the safety of the people, peace and safety. This is for the American people, for people to without living in fear. All that bullshit both factions say, but really mischief is in their heart because they're going to pass the laws to put you in captivity. They're going to pass draconian law measures to put you to death for coming up against the agenda. Which speak peace to their neighbors, but mischief is in their heart. That's the devil, man. That's Esau Edom. If not, then who the fuck is it? You know? So Lord willing, that was edifying. I'm going to close it out on that. Once again, know these lingos, know the terms, all right? You got to know these lingos. You got to know what this devil is up to. So with that, I'd like to give all glory, honor, praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash, Brakathum, double honor to my apostle, great millstone, and salutations to the icon of the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity, love, diligence, respect, fear, and trembling. Abba Ball, stay prayed up, stay blessed, fast, anoint yourself, do what you got to do to keep the Holy Spirit upon you. Shalom.